place, no lunch. 2 hours with the Chamber of Commerce, 3 hours with the mayor, which leaves very little time to drink and be merry, to say nothing of eating.
Well, darling, you can do all three at the Marlings party. Peter Childs is catering.
Oh, no, not crab rangoon again. I can't decide which is worse, his food or him. Why does he always have to cater these parties?
Well, he's very in. Very in.
Maybe we'll be lucky. There might not be any food left. We're late enough.
Oh, Mac, no.
Looks like we're right on time.
Not another robbery. Not tonight.
Wouldn't be so bad if I wasn't always invited.
They're getting full right now. This is not the first time this happened.
Mr. Merriam.
This is an outrage.
Yes, sir.
I shall issue a formal complaint.
Yes, sir. Mr. Merriam, are you the decorator of this house?
That is correct.
And that includes the installation of the wall safe?
I arranged for everything. I will not tolerate interference. I can't even bear suggestion.
Yes, sir, but I would like to ask you a few questions about the installation of the wall safe.
Do these look like the hands of a laborer? I arranged for its purchase. I did not install it.
Thank you, sir. You can get dressed now.
Have you seen this one? Give me a finger. I call this my one-hand appendectomy.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
Anytime.
Oh, good evening, Commissioner.
Good evening, Enright.
Mrs. McMillan. Well, sir, I suppose that you can tell.
I can tell. Same pattern?
Same pattern. I was also checking the guest list.
Same list?
Same list.
What's with your police, Commissioner? I can't go to a party in San Francisco without stripping.
You object to that?
I think some people would be above suspicion.
Who's he?
Edmund Lake, Matador, amateur.
Oh, that explains it. You know, when I got here, he was chasing a redhead around with a cape saying that he wanted her ears for a trophy.
If I know Lake, that wasn't the part of her he was after.
There's Frances. I'm going to talk to her for a minute.
Listen, sir, we've checked all the guests and managed to insult most of them in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Frances, I'm so sorry. How's Carter taking it?
Well, you know Carter. You can't bear to lose anything. Once a year, he makes me take an inventory of everything in the house.
Francis, Carter, we'd like to ask you a few questions, if you're up to it.
I'm not up to it. I may never be up to anything ever again. It was a terrible party. Even before Frances insisted on opening the safe.
Now, why did you open the safe?
To show off her diamond. Why else?
Well, he never lets me wear it, so at least I can show it off to a few friends.
But when you opened the safe, the diamond was gone?
But the case was there, but the diamond was gone.
How many others know the combination of the safe?
He's the only one.
Well, I don't know why anybody would attempt a theft right in the middle of a party full of people.
Our thief likes nothing better than performing before a crowd. It's part of his style and signature.
This is the worst evening of my life, Francis, the worst.
Oh, Peter, I thought you catered the Parkins party.
They were burgled after dinner. Would you care for hors d'oeuvre, Mrs. McMillan?
No, thank you.
Commissioner, I believe you even missed them.
Yes, we did.
The worst evening in my entire life. Francis, I'm going home.
The worst evening in his life. Come along, Sally. I want to show you something, and I want you to tell me that it's wonderful.
I didn't know you had anything left.
Oh, you only took the diamond. Just a teeny little thing.
Oh.
What do you think of it?
Well, I like it. I don't understand it, but I like it.
Oh, I don't understand it. Carter hates it because he doesn't understand it. But I don't think you have to understand something to love it. Don't you agree?
Yes, I do. In this case, I do. I like it very much.
You stay here. I'm going to introduce you to the sculptor. John Thomas. John Thomas. I want to introduce yourself. Sally McMillan. This is John Thomas Clark.
How do you do? I was just admiring your work.
It's always a pleasure to meet someone who does.
I can see that gleam in your eye, John Thomas. Let me caution you. Don't propose anything unlawful. Sally's married to our police commissioner. Well, I must get back to dear old Carter.
So, you really like my mobile?
Yes, I do very much.
Frances doesn't understand it, you know. She says she loves it, but she doesn't understand it. I really prefer Carter's attitude. He says he hates it. That's because he understands it.
Well, you know, I've always been fascinated by mobiles. The thing that I don't understand is how they're done.
You really must come by my studio one day. I'll show you exactly how it's done.
I'd love to.
John Thomas?
I think that woman is calling you.
Where? I have a little trouble with my vision.
Oh, really? You'd never know it from your work.
Oh, it's an asset. I can only see one woman at a time.
You've been here all afternoon installing that hateful mobile. Now, please, can we not stay all night?
Lanthy hates my mobile. That's because she understands it. Mrs. McMillan, I'd like you to meet Lanthy Sims. Lanthy, Mrs. McMillan is interested in art.
Well, you've never introduced me to a woman who wasn't. Come on, John, let's go. I mean, the whole night has been a flop from beginning to end, and I've been absolutely assaulted by a policeman.
First, go over and tell Frances that you had a good time, and tell her that you're sorry about her diamond.
Well, I had a terrible time, and I'm not sorry about her diamond. As a matter of fact, I think it was the high point of this whole disastrous evening.
Then lie to her. You know how you love to do that.
The insurance investigator checked the safe before the party began, sir, and he says that the diamond was still there.
Did you investigate the investigator?
Yes, he's all right, sir. No, the diamond had to be taken by somebody who was at the party. I mean, 6 robberies in 7 months? You're right, sir. We're dealing with a master burglar who loves to perform in public.
All right, let's run down the list again. Fats Lieberman.
Still in San Quentin?
Masanti.
Still dead.
It always leads right back to the Dutchman.
Right on.
He's the only one who can operate in this manner.
Yes, but, sir, no one has heard from the Dutchman in the last 10 years.
Well, we're hearing from him now, I'll bet you. How many of these people were at those other parties?
Well, by my accounting, about 65.
It's the favorite after-dinner entertainment of the black tie circuit, only they're laughing less and less.
I really didn't need to hear that.
Well, you're lucky, Commissioner. At least you won't have to be here in the morning when the chief has to face the mayor and the press.
Would you rather be in Palm Springs, facing a national convention of police commissioners?
Darling, you'll have to face them when you get back anyway.
I really didn't need to hear that either. Good night, Enright.
Good night. Have a good trip.
You sure you want to play golf your first day here?
You're gonna play golf, aren't you?
Yeah, but you hate golf.
But I love you. Anyway, everybody plays golf in Palm Springs. It's very in. Boy, it sure is pretty down there.
Good time. Arriba, abajo, centro.
Mac McMillan.
Freddie!
Oh, you
Neil.
still got your guy. Hey, it's
Good to see you.
How are you?
Fine. What are you doing here?
I'm here with Boris Potter, the used car king of
Ah,
LA.
you're looking good. Oh, Freddie, I'd like you to meet my wife, Sally. This is Freddie O'Neill.
So you're the little lady that nailed him, huh? I hate to tell you how many tried.
I'd hate to tell you what they're missing. Nice to meet you, champ.
Now, just ex-jam. Now I'm strictly a golfing buddy. Hey, there's somebody wants you to meet. June, come here.
Mac! Hey, it's great to see you again. How are you?
Oh, fine. You remember my wife, Sally?
Oh, sure, Mac. Whatever you say.
Have you got a game?
Playing with it? Why don't we make it a foursome?
Yeah, fine. Check
I'll
the
fix it
starter.
with the starter.
Sit down. Hey, Alan, bring him over here, will you?
How long are you gonna be here, Freddie?
Oh, for a week. At least that's what the man says.
What man?
Boris, the used car king.
Oh, you work for him.
Well, in a manner of speaking, I golf with him.
Oh, he's your friend.
No, I wouldn't give him the honor of calling him my friend.
I don't think I'm following this conversation.
Well, haven't you ever heard of a golf bum before?
I know a tennis bum. Is that the same thing?
Well, something like that, yeah. Except usually tennis bums have been champs at tennis. Now, a golf bum can have been a champ at anything. I'm a boxing champ who works the golf circuit.
Works it?
Yeah, that's right. I go from watering hole to watering hole, wherever a guy's willing to pick up the tab for a weekend or a week. he gets to introduce the champ as his golfing buddy, and I get to stay in the best hotels, plus a little cash on the side. I do all right.
Oh.
Look, it isn't as degrading as it sounds, really, sweetheart. I'm a trophy to them, I know that. But they need a trophy, and I need the bread.
We're all set. Be off time.
You still a big knocker?
Well, we'll see.
Sounds like hustler talk to me. Listen, June and I'll give you 3 strokes a side with just at the end of 9, maybe $20 Nassau.
Good.
Nice shot, Mac.
Okay, Sally.
Boy, that was fabulous. Well, I hope mine goes there. Oh. Listen, I think I'll walk.
Okay.
There's nothing lonelier than the game of golf.
Would you believe she's been taking lessons? Not only that, she's improved.
Hey, I've been reading about that jewel thief of yours. Sounds like you got yourself quite an operator.
Yeah, he's good, all right.
Have you been able to trace any of the loot?
We checked every nail on the fence. All the diamond cutters are just about decided. He's cutting them himself.
Right, could be. Beautiful.
Nice shot, Mac.
Nice, Freddie. Very nice.
That's my partner.
Okay, Sally, sock it to him.
Played that just right. You told me look down, I looked down. Don't take your eye off the ball, I didn't take my eye off the ball. I kept my arm straight.
I think Sally ought to take an axe with her in there. You know, thinking about the way your thief loves to perform at parties, he kind of reminds me of the Dutchman. Remember him?
Yeah.
Who's the Dutchman?
One of the biggest jewel thieves in Europe. Till Interpol made it too hot for him.
What's he look like?
Yeah, if we knew, we'd grab it. No one's ever even seen a photo of him.
Well, I saw him once.
You did?
Yeah, it was on my triumphant European tour. I remember thinking, he looked so young to be doing so well.
You saw him, huh?
Yeah.
Would you recognize him if you saw him again?
Well, I think so.
I think I'll pay my wife a visit.
Right, see you on the green.
Sally,
Oh, Mac, you're gonna love it here. It's so secluded.
here, let me show you.
You better stand a little closer.
I am standing closer. Can't get any closer.
Well, the golf pro always does when he teaches me.
I pay for that?
Darling, it's worth it. I couldn't even get into the trees before he began.
Standing so close.
Right.
Okay, now look. Like that. See?
Oh, I get it.
Sally,
Yeah.
You know how you've always wanted to show off the new house?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how would you like to give a party? I mean, a really posh party. Invite the prominent. All 65 of them, and their diamonds.
What are you up to?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Freddie thinks he might be able to identify the Dutchman.
You're kidding, Freddie.
Excuse me, have you seen an extra ball around here?
No, we haven't.
Oh, okay.
Do you think he was listening?
I'm going to talk to Freddie about the party. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll be here. Oh. How's Sally?
Oh, she's having a wonderful time. Say, Freddie, we'd like to give you a party in San Francisco. Invite some of our well-jeweled friends. The kind of a party that someone like the Dutchman couldn't resist. Are you free?
Sounds like a ball.
Mac, look out!
Look out! My wife just got out of the rough.
Hey, Freddie, you really gonna love San Francisco.
Yeah?
I want you to know you can change your mind at any time.
Oh, don't worry about me, baby. I've been missing the ring. I'm ready for a little action.
That about does it, Commissioner.
Yeah, sure does. Thanks.
You're welcome.
See you in the shower.
Okay, baby.
Oh, Champ, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, hi, Boris. I ran into a buddy.
Yeah? Well, I got a couple of buddies that are just dying to meet you. So get dressed and make it quick.
Sorry, Boris. After we get through here, my friend wants me to have a drink with him.
Look, I don't care what your friend wants. I'm the one who's footing the bills around here, and it's what I want. And I want you to get it on down to the clubhouse and meet these two guys, Champ.
Hey, we can have our drink later on, Freddie.
No, we'll have it as planned. Get lost, Boris. Get yourself another champ.
Now, don't you make the mistake of trying to knock on my door later.
I never knocked on your door in the first place, Buster. You did all the knocking.
There goes your meal ticket.
Who's hungry?
Since when you start hanging around with police commissioners, Freddie?
Well, Mac wasn't always one. He just got to be one somewhere along the line.
Huh? How come you?
Well, I've met a lot of people in my time, and I got a memory for faces. Oh, I gotta tell you, Boo, that's the worst massage I ever had. How do you keep your job?
Just another pretty face.
Oh.
Okay, Johnny, take your break now.
Right.
Who's June, Freddie?
I thought you knew her. She sure seemed like she knew you.
That's always happening to me. I'm forever reminding people of someone they think they know. Just hope we didn't talk too much about the Dutchman in front of her. Can she be trusted?
Well, I hope so. She's the daughter of an L.A. police commissioner.
Oh, that June. Enemies, Freddie?
I didn't think so, but that would indicate yes.
The sooner I get you into police custody, the better I'll feel.
Usually flying makes me nervous, but today I find it very soothing.
I usually find it soothing, too, but I wish that somebody would tell me what the rush is all about.
It's important to get Freddie to San Francisco as quickly and as safely as possible, that's all.
That's all. You're telling me that's all, but I know there's more to it. The reason you're telling me that's all is because you don't want to frighten me.
That's right. Because when I do tell you, it does frighten you.
Somebody's trying to kill us.
No.
Well, I feel better already.
Somebody's trying to kill me.
Mac?
You're frightened.
Well, why would anybody want to kill Freddie? The Dutchman.
Look at that jerk, will you? Miles and nothing, and he's crowding us. Hey, Red Baron, whoever you are, you're crowding the airline. Watch it.
That's the Dutchman. He really intends to get me. Fly this thing?
I'm gonna try.
See the Red Baron.
Maybe we lost him when we went through those clouds back there.
Mike, that was first class. How many lessons you had?
6.
You did that with 6 lessons? That's wonderful.
You haven't heard what number 7 was.
How to land. Hello? Hello, anyone? Mayday, mayday. Come in, anyone.
I'll level around. You're killing me.
Hey, you came to just in time for lesson number 7.
How do you feel?
Not good.
You feel strong enough to land it?
I think I'm about to black out again.
Before you black out, can you tell me how to land this?
I can't. Call the control tower for instructions.
I can't. The radio's out. Sprung a gas leak, too. We'll have to land it. Somewhere. Like a good place. Here, Sally. Read me the checklist.
The checklist. Checklist. Read the checklist. Before starting engines, before taxiing, before taking off.
That's the pre-flight check. Read me the part about landing.
Climb, cruise, before landing in range. Oh, here it is. Okay, before landing. Gear down, locked.
Gear down. Locked.
Green light visual.
Green light visual.
Hide press. What's that?
Hydraulic pressure.
Oh. Gear and systems.
Pressure's okay.
Mixtures. Auto rich.
Full rich, okay.
Prop controls, low pitch.
Prop control, low pitch.
Wow, you got that good. Flaps 1/4 down.
Flaps, 1/4 down.
No smoking sign on.
Oh, Sally.
You said to read the list. It's right here on the list.
All right, Sally, that completes it. Hold tight, everyone.
What's that?
Red light. The landing gear is coming back up. I must have hit the switch when I set the flaps. Okay. Landing gear down, green light on. Here we go.
Come on, number 7.
Mac, that was fantastic.
Beautiful job, Mac. Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Beautiful, Mac. Beautiful.
We made it?
Yeah, how do you feel?
Not any better. I don't suppose we made it to San Francisco.
Not quite.
Now listen, the commissioner should be back in about 2 hours, so you better take a look at this group of characters one more time.
Okay, I'll get right on it, Sarge.
Yes, Ann?
It's the commissioner on line 4.
Thank you. Hello, sir. Yes, sir. What? You landed where? You landed the airplane. Well, wasn't that dangerous, sir? I will. Goodbye, sir. Ann, I want a heli ambulance to Yorba Linda to pick up a wounded pilot and the commissioner's party. I'm going to need 6 men to meet them at the San Francisco airport. I want a car for myself, and I want 4 men to go to the Hotel Taylor and make security preparations.
Yes, sir.
He landed it himself.
Now, what about the plane?
All we know is that it was a stolen plane, sir, and that they deserted it in the desert.
Well, it ain't much, but it's safe.
Sure, baby. That's what my manager said when he arranged my last fight.
You mean with that kid called Clay?
Right.
Well, I'll try not to lead you into a mismatch, Freddie. Come on in, right? We got some shopping to do.
What a marvelous dinner.
Here. Try this on for dessert.
What is it? Oh, Mac! That's gorgeous. Fits perfectly. You've never done anything like this before. Thank you. Thank you.
Except you can't keep it. It goes back after the party.
I know. It's just that you've never done anything like this before.
Oh, excuse me, back later.
Oh, Mildred, come here and see what Mac bought me.
Wow, what a rock. What'd that set you back, Commissioner?
50 big ones, Mildred.
50,000?
But be careful whom you tell it. We wouldn't want a visit from our local jewel thief. Might be a little embarrassing.
Got the message, Commissioner. Say, what's the occasion? I didn't miss your birthday, did I, Mrs. McMillan?
No occasion, Mildred.
Oh, you did something that bad, huh, Commissioner?
I just happen to love my wife.
Well, sure, don't we all?
Five,
4,
3, 2. Contact, she's calling Agnes. Then in alphabetical order, Beatrice, Clarissa, Dot, and Elsbeth. It'll be inside the back door of every home on the hill before midnight.
Oh, would you like to look at our list, how it's coming along so far?
Mm-hmm. Peter Childs, what's he doing on this list? You know I hate his food.
Darling, he's the inn caterer.
Yeah, inn caterer, yes, I know.
You know, he could be the Dutchman. You know, he's been at all the parties, and he's always the first to arrive and the last to leave.
Well, somehow I can't see the Dutchman slaving over a hot kitchen stove.
You've never made crab ragoon. It takes a very light touch.
Okay, I'll put him down, right into the surgeon who does a knot with one hand.
Do you think he could be the Dutchman?
Well, that's a possibility. One of the things we know about the Dutchman is he's very adept with his hands, as is the surgeon.
Well, then you better put down the matador. Remember what Sergeant Enright said about how handy he was with a cape.
Everybody's suspect.
This party is getting exciting. I'm going to have to go out and look for a dress to go with my ring. Well, I can't very well go to a party with John Thomas Clark and his mistress without looking special.
And that's another one, Clark. Think of the dexterity needed to make those mobiles.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You're just suspicious of everyone who wants to give me lessons.
Yeah, right.
Lessons. Oh, I'm booked for a golf lesson tomorrow.
That is it. I'm going to bed before I say something I might regret. It's early. You don't have to come to bed if you don't want to.
Darling, I'm not going to take golf lessons to follow you all around the course and then not follow you to bed.
Okay. Straight back. Well, I think that's all for today, Mrs. McMillan.
Tell me, Buck, am I getting any better?
No. I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right. Good. Good, Miss Wilson. Fine. Miss McMillan?
Yeah.
It was found on the windshield of her car, sir. We also found the car that they used. It was stolen. No fingerprints. We're checking with our underworld contacts, sir, but again, so far, nothing. I'm afraid we're going to have to treat this like any other kidnapping, sir. We'll just have to wait till they get in touch with us, and then we can set up arrangements for the swap.
If the Dutchman is determined to get me, he will, now or later. If you ain't careful, it could be me and Sally. Now, stop worrying about me, will you? I can take care of myself, but she can't. Look, Mac, I never backed away from a match in my life. I want to tangle with a Dutchman. I was a champ, baby. You're forgetting that. So, that's the way it's gonna be. Hey, Mac, I'm a free agent. There ain't no way that you can hold me here. So you either arrange that swap right now with the Dutchman, or I'm walking out of here and making my own deal with him. And you know I can't. Look, I want that lady of yours back where she belongs. I don't like the company she's keeping right now.
Oh. I don't suppose this stuff looks as bad as it tastes. I know you're there. I can hear you breathing. How long is this silent treatment gonna last, anyway? I don't suppose I could reach you with a little, I guess not. You're right. Why bother to make friends? We have no time. I'm gonna be out of here by tomorrow anyway, right? Right? Hello? Thanks, Freddie.
Is the policeman who accidentally shot O'Neill on suspension, Commissioner?
Yes, he is.
Mrs. McMillan, I know how you must feel, but would you mind giving us a statement?
I didn't see anything. I was blindfolded the whole time. They had, those stocking things over their heads when they kidnapped me.
Well, how many men
Mrs.
were there?
McMillan? I don't know, two in the car.
Mrs.
McMillan? I don't know, Mac. I don't know. Can't we just go home? I don't want to answer anymore.
Yes, of course.
Commissioner, is it true that Freddie O'Neill was your only lead in all these recent jewel thefts?
Yes, it's true. I'll give you a statement in a minute. Honey, the mayor insists I make a full report. Why don't you go on home and I'll join you as soon as I can.
Can we ask her just a few more questions?
Not now. She's exhausted. Take her home, Tom.
what about O'Neill? Did he agree to the swap, or was he forced into it?
He insisted on it, gentlemen.
But now, wait a minute, Commissioner. We still don't have a...
And so, a stray bullet by a policeman in the tragic confusion of the swap for Mrs. Sally McMillan cost the battling Irishman, Freddie O'Neill, his life. But we repeat, Police Commissioner McMillan's wife has been safely returned.
Thank you, George, for your on-the-spot report. Tonight, in tribute to a real champion, this station is proud to present highlights of Freddie O'Neill's boxing career. This was Freddie's first match as a professional against Kid Larson. He won by a knockout in the 5th round and established himself as a major contender. Within a period of 6 years, Freddie O'Neill had fought 14 main events.
Hello, Mildred. How is she?
I gave her a double shot of hot milk and a little sleeping pill. Something ought to work.
Freddie's fans will remember his bout with Vic Armstrong when he scored a spectacular knockout in the 7th round and earned him the shot at the middleweight championship. He shocked the boxing world by defeating Hal Stenson for the middleweight championship. This fighting Irishman had a heart of gold and a helping hand for any friend in need. He had great confidence in the young people of today. Whenever he wasn't in training or...
Sally. And try Mrs. McMillan for me again, will you please?
I just did, sir. The line's still busy.
And that's with 2 phones in the house. She slept all night. She's been talking all morning. I haven't even had a chance to talk to her. Keep trying, Ann.
Oh, thank you so much. If you just give me your number, maybe I could call you as soon as the arrangements have been made. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Goodbye.
Oh, more telegrams. How many people do you suppose the Irishman knew?
Incredible. Who do you suppose they all are? What do they do?
Well, this one is signed Sugar LaLure. I can guess what she does.
I think they'll all be at the funeral.
Well, sure. Everybody loves a fighter. There aren't many left today.
Poor Freddie. He certainly did die the way he lived. I wish there was something I could do for him to really thank him.
Well, he'll have a nice funeral. And that's all any Irishman asks of life.
Mildred, that's it. We're gonna have a wake. A real Irish wake. And we're gonna invite all of Freddie's friends.
All of them? Even Sugar LaLure?
All of them. They were all friends of Freddie's, and he would want them there.
Listen, Mrs. McMillan, I spotted some pretty well-known gamblers in there and some out-and-out gangsters.
Well, any friend of Freddie's. Miss Commissioner McMillan, please.
Well, we're not going to put out that silver we polished.
Oh, yes, we are. It's going to be a very elegant wake.
Yes, Ann.
Mrs. McMillan on 3.
Thank you. Hi, honey.
Hi, Mac. You wouldn't believe the telephone calls and the telegrams we've had about Freddie.
How are you, okay?
I'm going to be fine, especially now. I've come up with a lovely idea for Freddie.
Oh?
Mac, we're going to have a wake for Freddie. A real Irish wake, and we're going to have it at our house, and we're going to invite all of his friends. What do you think? Don't say no.
Oh, no, I was just, well, you haven't really met any of his friends, you know.
I know, but I've talked to most of them on the phone. The phone hasn't stopped ringing all day. Please, Mac?
Oh, well, that's not a bad idea. It's a good idea. Go ahead, begin making plans. Freddie deserves the best.
Thanks, Mac.
I'll be right home. I have something very important to tell you. And Sally, I think it's a great idea.
I knew you'd be pleased, Mac.
Bye. We may get our shot at the Dutchman after all.
How's that, sir?
We're going to have a wake for Freddie O'Neill.
Oh. A wake? That's where the casket is open, isn't it?
Yes, I know it. Would you please stop crying, Mr. Tipolino? All right, Tippy. I know it was a great loss for all of us. Your brother. Yes, you know, I had that same feeling myself. Hi, darling.
Hi.
Oh, no, I wasn't. No, I was, your cousin felt the same way, too. Oh. Well, sure, we'd be glad to have them. Here, let me put that down. Okay. Thanks a lot. All right. It was an honor talking to you, too. Okay, Tippy. Bye-bye.
Tippy? Are you talking to Louis Tipolino, the restaurant owner?
He is such a sweet man.
He's the biggest crook in town.
Why isn't he in jail?
That's how crooked he is. He makes it look legal.
Well, I had to invite him to Freddie's wake. He sent such a sweet wire.
Sally. Look, about the guest list. Why do you invite the people we were going to invite to Freddie's party, too? How would you like that?
That would be a fabulous idea. Freddie would have liked that. You know, also, I think it'll add a little class to our wake.
It's just the way he put it.
Our wake could use a little... He put it? Put what? When?
Why don't you sit down, Sally? I'll pour you a drink.
I don't want to sit down, and I certainly don't want to drink.
Freddie's alive.
I think I'll sit down.
And I'll pour you a drink.
I think I'll drink it. What do you mean, Freddie's alive?
Our men were using blanks. The whole thing was staged to make it look real.
How could you do that?
I know it was a terrible thing to put you through, Sally, but I had to.
Couldn't you trust me enough to have let me in on it?
Oh, sure. If I'd known where the kidnappers were holding you, I'd have phoned you.
You always let me in on everything. You could have given me a signal in the alley. You could have winked.
Oh, sure. You see? It had to be a perfect performance to fool the Dutchman, and he was out there somewhere watching. You, Freddie, me, all of us. I couldn't risk it after what you'd been through. And the only way to keep Freddie alive was to convince the Dutchman that Freddie was dead.
I can understand that. Where's Freddie now?
Safe, out of sight, and under police protection. And looking forward to the wake more than anybody, with the possible exception of the Dutchman.
Is he going to be there?
Well, that's what we're counting on. We'll have mourners wearing diamonds of every shape and size, begged, borrowed, and stolen, probably.
With Freddie playing dead and identifying the Dutchman at the same time? Mac.
We can do it. And we're counting on you, too.
Oh, now that I know Freddie's alive, I'll be fine. Sorry I got so upset before.
Oh, I can understand that.
Oh, Mac, I think I've come up with a clue myself.
Yeah?
Of course, I couldn't see or hear anything when I was hostage, but I could taste. And they fed me a stew that was so awful that if she ever cooked for me again, I know that I could spot her.
She? Why do you say she?
Why do I say she? Why do I say she?
I don't know. You're the one who said it. What are you doing?
I'm sniffing.
Well, I can tell you're sniffing, but why are you sniffing?
Perfume. There was perfume everywhere they took me. That's why I said she. Mac, that's it. The Dutchman is a Dutch woman.
That's a possibility. Could you recognize that perfume?
Odor, please, odor. It's unforgettable. I'll tell you another thing. I was very discreet when I was sniffing. I remember being very discreet. I'm almost sure that no one knew that I was sniffing. Aren't you proud of me? I've cracked the case.
Yeah, well, it's a beginning. Your real work comes tomorrow night when you have to sniff your way through that wake.
Oh, I can't wait to get a look at that woman that would wear that kind of perfume. Oh, her escorts must be drugged by the end of the evening.
Maybe that's her technique.
How would you like to see a little bit of my technique? Kate?
Hey.
How are you? Oh. Ah. Let's see. Ooh, it looks so confining.
Well, it's soft.
How about one for the road?
Oh, yeah. Hey, do you think you could figure some way to slip me a couple of these while I'm on the road?
Well, this is something I never thought I'd see.
Well, it ain't bad. A lot more comfortable than some beds I've been in.
I think you look cute.
I bet you say that to all the corpses.
She does. Except this is the first time a corpse has talked back. Are you really comfortable, Freddie?
Yeah, except I don't know why I had to come in the formal.
Oh, that was my idea. Lie down. I'm a little nervous about that mirror.
Well, I think it's great. I can see practically the whole room. from here.
Sure, practically the whole room can see you. What if they catch you breathing?
That's why I brought some extra flowers to put all over the top of them. Then I'm going to take these candelabra and put them in close so people can't get close.
Good idea.
I counted the silver, and I'm going to count it again when the evening's over.
Here, Sally.
Gotcha. Ready, Freddie? I hope you're not allergic.
You can't call me canvasback now.
This is one fight you lost. Hold on. What do you think?
Do I get up when the bell rings?
You know what? I think it's gonna work. Can't even tell he's breathing.
Dreadful house. I don't know which I despise more, the exterior or the interior.
I don't mind the house so much as I do the people. It's a whole new breed of parasites. Funeral crashers.
Any luck?
Not yet.
Watch it. I can see your lips moving.
I still don't think this is such a good idea, boss. I mean, the police commissioner's own home?
I'd risk anything for Freddie O'Neill.
Oh, yeah? I ain't never met no Irishman, alive or dead, worth going to jail for.
I've never seen so much drinking at a party for a live person.
Is this your first wake?
And my last. I'm going to be cremated. Oh, ladies, be sure and try the crab rangoon. And you there, speed it up with the coffee.
Commissioner? I'd like to take several of these characters in for questioning right now.
I know what you mean, Henry.
Looks almost as good dead as he did alive.
He looks better.
I'll take that.
What?
A carving set up your sleeve.
Oh, I'm with the catering set.
I'm with the police commissioner.
Was he anyway?
I have no idea. You're the one that accepted the invitation.
It's me.
Oh, hi, Mildred.
There lies a man who says he never threw a fight to Freddie O'Neill. A fake and a fraud.
What's your name?
Enright, man.
Enright, man. Oh, that's a beautiful name. I really like that name.
Good evening. You ever seen a couple of being smashed?
No.
You're fogging up the mirror. Any luck?
Still sniffing.
Well, you're ready. You're ready. You're a beautiful boy. Movies, Las Vegas, you name it.
Hey, Mac! Mac, remember when you said anytime I need a favor?
Listen, you're really ready. You know, I don't want to coerce you. If I snap my fingers the wrong
Listen
way,
to
you know,
him. Why don't you gentlemen have a drink in the bar?
Oh, anything you say, Commissioner.
Excuse me, but where do I know you from?
Well, I've been working on this picture at Universal.
This party's worse than yours.
I agree.
Mrs. McMillan?
Sally, you really must do something about that cold.
Oh, Francis, it's just one of those 24-hour bugs. I'm sure it'll be gone tomorrow.
Oh, Francis, a familiar face, thank goodness. Isn't this the most ghastly party you've ever been in? And the people here. You know, there's this one dreadful woman who goes around sniffing. Has she sniffed you?
Yes.
Well, you know, anytime you accept an invitation to a police commissioner's home, you have to be very careful.
Mrs. McMillan, it's the bee. I never hoped I'd be lucky enough to find my hostess and all this.
She's the hostess of this thing?
Lanthy.
Oh, that's okay. I agree with Miss Sims. This is a terrible party.
Well, not really, as wakes go.
Well, couldn't we go, John?
You'll have to forgive Lanthy. She's not at her best at parties, or anywhere else for that matter.
Well, I think you forgot one thing.
Always living in the past, Lanthy. I hope you haven't lost your interest in mobiles, Mrs. McMillan. I'd love you to come to my studio tomorrow if you can get away.
I wish I could get away right now.
Well, I think we could arrange that, too.
Oh, tomorrow would be fine.
Good. Shall we say about noon, then?
Fine.
Bye.
Now watch.
Doctor, you're not doing your good old one-handed knock trick again, are you?
But this gentleman begged me to show it to him, Commissioner.
He did?
Did I hurt you, fella?
What's the matter? How could they be, Francis? Your ears are pierced.
You're telling me!
I told you this was a bad idea.
Okay, let's go.
Hold it, everybody! Hold it! Everybody! Enright, lock the doors.
All right, quiet. Just a minute.
All right, everybody. The ladies will go upstairs, please. The gentlemen will stay down here.
We know the procedure, Commissioner.
Matt, what is the procedure?
Procedure? After a fruitless search and a dismal failure, and after the Dutchman has been victorious again, we are going to get smashed.
San Francisco's master jewel thief struck again last night, and this time at the home of Police Commissioner Stuart McMillan. Stolen was a pair of earrings valued at $100,000, removed from the pierced ears of Mrs. Frances Miley, wife of the famed financier Carter Miley. The heist took place at the wake of battling Freddie O'Neill, accidentally gunned down by police as he was being exchanged for the kidnapped wife of the police commissioner. A search of all the guests proved futile, and San Francisco's mysterious jewel thief has been successful once again.
Great picture. Who turned that up?
I think it's been on all night.
Oh, that's better. I'll set it later. Oh, Should I bring either of you, you'll pardon the expression, something to eat?
Oh, that's where the ice pack is.
I was bringing it to you.
Oh, never mind. I think if I just sit down, that ought to do it. Oh!
I was watching The Late Show. Excuse me.
Goodbye, Doc.
Good heavens, I'm late for surgery.
Who was that?
Just another guest who didn't know when to leave.
Oh, I'm never giving another party. I can't get that clock in focus.
I can't even get you into focus.
I wonder what time it is. I told John Thomas Clark that I'd drop by his studio for a lesson in mechanical mobiles at 12 o'clock.
The way your hands are shaking?
Well, it's modern art, Mildred. I think shaking hands could be an asset.
But first, you've got a morning of sniffing ahead of you.
Oh, Mac, even my nose has a hangover.
I'm sorry, Sally, but your nose is the only clue we've got.
No, this isn't it. Madam, if you could just be a little more specific.
Well, that's all I can tell you.
You know, you've already sniffed $30 worth.
Mac?
Find it?
No, darling. Could you please pay this lady $30?
Oh, hi, Mac.
Hi.
Oh, well, seeing it's you. We're such old friends. No charge.
Has she always been this reasonable?
No. Well, this is... Oh, I'm sorry. This is very new and quite unique. I'm not the regular girl here, you know.
No, this isn't it, but it's very nice. Do you have anything else?
Just a moment. Here, try these.
Oh, this is very unusual. Here.
Is it?
No. What's this called?
Oh, dear. That's my medicine.
Oh.
You know, maybe I should try to find you somebody with a little bit more experience. Oh, if you could just describe to someone who knew exactly what you wanted, then, just a moment, please.
Isn't she cute? I like her.
Yeah, but she does seem a little incompetent.
I know, but I like her because she doesn't know you.
Can I help you? Oh, hi, Mac.
Yes, what we wanted was someone with a little more experience.
May I help you, sir? Oh, hello, Mac. It's nice to see you again. Oh, no, that's not for you, honey. Why don't you try some of this, huh?
I don't think we'll find anything here, Mac. Wait a minute. What is this? This is it. This is the odor.
This is a man's cologne.
I know. That's what's so strange. I thought it was a perfume. It turns out it was a cologne.
I'll take that bottle, please. Charge it.
We're onto something.
Freddie. Freddie, wake up. Wake
up. Oh, hi, Mac. Ooh, I wish I were dead. Well, I don't think I could live through another week.
Here, smell this.
What? You want me to smell like Bull Dunham?
Bull uses this cologne, doesn't he?
He did that day at the Springs.
Do you know where he's staying while he's in the city?
He said he was at Rocky's.
Rocky's gym?
Mac, is that the smell that Sally was looking for?
Yeah, I think so.
You think Bull is the Dutchman?
No, he's not that bright. But he could be working for the Dutchman or something. I'll go over to Rocky.
No, well, you know, if Bull thinks that you're pumping him, he'll just forget how to talk.
I'm going to tell him how thoughtful you were to remember him in your will.
That bum after he insulted me at my own wake? Ow.
Freddie thought a lot of you, Bull.
Ah, the poor guy.
One of the last things he said, he wanted to give you his boxing gloves. First pair he ever used.
He wanted to give them to me?
Yeah? I'll mail them to you down in the Springs.
Yes, well, I'll hang them on the wall in the massage room. Put a picture of Freddie up there, too.
Hey, Freddie would like that.
I'm gonna miss that, Bo.
Yeah, we all are. Nice cologne, Bo.
Hey, lower your voice, will you? I've been taking enough razzing from the bums in here about this smell.
Oh, I like it.
You do?
Yeah. Where can I buy some?
I don't know. If you want some, I'll ask Mr. Clark where he gets it.
Mr. Clark?
Hey, you know, that sculptor guy.
Oh, John Thomas Clark. Oh, present?
Yeah, last time he was down in Springs, he just brought it down.
When was that, Bull?
The same time you... what is it you want anyway, Mr. Commissioner? You know,
Well, one of the first things I want is to put you under arrest, Bull.
Hey, nice swings, fella. Got a manager? All you need
All
is...
I need is a phone.
Come on in, the door is open. Mrs. McMillan. Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
The artist at work, I see.
Well, I'm afraid it's little more than a trade these days, created by the demands of the marketplace. Art is nothing but a business.
Well, a very good one for you. This is a fantastic studio.
Yes, it is very well equipped. How do you like my latest monstrosity? Electrically run. I call it Cycle of Life. The title alone doubles the price. You like my cologne?
Yes. Do you know that I have been looking for that scent for my husband? Isn't it a coincidence that you happen to have it on?
And last night at the wake, were you looking for it then too?
Last night?
Lanthy told me you was sniffing all evening. I assumed you had a cold. Now I realize you didn't.
No, I do. I thought it was one of those 24-hour things, you know, but I guess I'm gonna have it for a while. Maybe I better go before I expose you, you know.
Oh, Mrs. McMillan, I suspect I'm already exposed.
You're the Dutchman.
I'm the Dutchman.
How do you do it? I mean, what with all those detectives looking at the safe and everything?
Illusion, my dear. Like my mobiles. You think you see something when you don't. No one saw me take the diamond at the party because I didn't. I took it just before the party, when I came to install the mobile. But society creates its own heroes. Everyone wanted to believe that I could open a safe in full view of a crowd. That excited them tremendously, and so they believed it.
Oh.
Sally.
Oh, Mac the Dutchman. How are you?
Fine. I'd like to shake hands with you, Freddie.
I know what you mean. My hands were bandaged for a month after my fight with Stonehead Kelly.
Oh, yeah?
Stonehead Kelly?
That's how I got the bandages.
Oh. You better give me a big hug, Freddie, because I think my man's going to be out of action for the next couple of weeks.
May I?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think that's my cab.
We're gonna miss you, Freddie.
Have a good time, Waikiki.
Oh, I will. I spent several weeks in the cuff with Muggsy. He's first class. It ain't such a bad life, sweetheart.
Oh.
Dropped your guard again. Stay well now.
Bye, Freddie. Aloha.
Bye.
Isn't Freddie great? We're really gonna miss him.
Do you really mean that about my being out of action for weeks?
Well, Mac, it is a little tricky with bandages on your hands.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Looks good.
Commissioner, it's pretty messy this time, sir. We're getting a sample of the acid.
Carefully, I hope.
Very carefully.
Give us a statement, Commissioner. Come on, Commissioner, give us a statement.
Later.
Was it hydrosulfurous acid in the water?
Later, gentlemen, later.
Hey, there's Commissioner, is McMillan. the asylum killer a man or a
Do you
woman?
have any leads,
Come on, were there any
Do you have
witnesses?
any leads,
Commissioner?
I just got here,
identified the
gentlemen.
victim?
Later.
Commissioner, we found footprints again.
Yeah, I do too.
The usual overshoes.
Well, it looks like it, but I'm afraid they're not going to do us any good.
The asylum killer's footprints, Commissioner?
It looks that way.
Can't you just see him standing there watching? In his last letter, Commissioner, he said he was always sorry when one of his victims dies because then he has to plan his next one.
We're all sorry.
I've lost count, Commissioner. How many unsolved cases does this make that your department is trying to pin on the asylum killer?
Before I answer that question, you'll have to rephrase it.
Rephrasing the question won't change the answer, Commissioner. And I haven't lost count. 5 unsolved murders, including this one.
How long are you going to let one man terrify an entire city?
I hope you realize the kind of coverage you're giving these killings is only adding to the hysteria. A little less sensationalism would be greatly appreciated by your police department.
Any leads, Commissioner?
We'll get him.
When, Commissioner? In a week? A month? My viewers are getting a little edgy, you know.
Your telecasts are getting me a little edgy. You may tell your viewers tonight that an arrest is imminent.
Imminent? Do you mean this is the asylum killer's last murder? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the next time I have to see any of you will be at the press conference I'll call when I announce the arrest of the asylum killer. Now, that's all, gentlemen. Thank you.
Well, just exactly when will that press conference be, Commissioner?
Anything yet, Phil?
I'm taking it back to the lab now, Commissioner.
All right. Tom, get a report back to me as soon as you can.
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't let the press get to me like that, but that Peter Jordan would have his viewers hysterical by nightfall if I didn't say something a little reassuring.
I thought you were most reassuring, sir. I feel much better. I just hope that the asylum killer hears that he's committed his last murder.
Yeah, and like everyone else in this town, believes everything he hears on the news.
You mean you think he's already planning his next one?
I do. If only there was some connection between all these killings, a motive, anything. At least we'd have some way of predicting who his next victim might be.
Hey, I see you. What do? Get your kick stealing the police commissioner's paper? I can see the news on TV, you know.
Hello? Oh, Mother, how are you? What?
I never won anything before in my life. I just couldn't believe it.
Mountain. That's that new resort that everybody's been talking about, isn't it? You're leaving right now?
That's the way the contest works, they said. You have to be able to go immediately. And of course I am, so I said yes. Except that tomorrow's your birthday, of course. And I feel bad about that.
Don't worry about that. You can get me something expensive when you get back. Anyway, I'm sure the Mac has got something marvelous planned for tomorrow night. Mother, that's it. The dinner was for tomorrow night.
I'm not following you.
Oh, Mother, wait a minute. It all started this afternoon when I got a call from McMillan's restaurant telling me that my husband wanted me to meet him for dinner there tonight. Something about a religious holiday that was celebrated by men who worship their wives. What do you mean that doesn't sound like Mac? That sounds exactly like Mac, Mother. Anyway, I went. But I ate alone. Mac never showed up. Well, now I realize it was the restaurant that made the mistake. Mac meant dinner for tomorrow night.
Oh, yes, I'm sure that's what happened, darling. That does sound like Mac. Well, have to hurry. See you in a couple of days.
Okay, Mother, you have a good time. Bye-bye. Of course that's it. I can't remember my own birthday. Mildred? Mildred, where are you? Mildred, where are you?
Gee. Somebody having a party? What's going on? How sweet.
Where are my needles? Oh, Mildred, did you have to take my needles out of my knitting? Mildred, where are you?
You win.
Flagging attendance is forced one of the most unique doubleheaders in sports. For the price of one, you'll get a roller skating match race, and as soon as they can clear the court, a basketball game. Now, if that doesn't get the fans out, they're threatening to bring in an ice rink for a doubleheader of basketball and ice hockey. Tip from an old hand, all that is really needed to increase attendance is a winning team. Pete?
Well, speaking of doubleheaders, the Asylum Killer promises one next time, too. In a letter sent directly to this newscaster earlier this evening, the crazed murderer boasts he'll deliver his 6th and 7th victims simultaneously and in the immediate future. We go now to Marshall Downs for a report on what local citizens are doing about it.
Just what kind of dogs have people been buying lately, Mrs. Maxwell?
German Shepherds and Doberman Pinschers, and that's it.
And has the demand increased over the last few weeks?
Oh, I should say so. I'm selling about 2 dogs a day now. Before the Asylum Killer, I was lucky to sell 2 a week. Business is just great.
The failure of local police to discover the identity of the murderer clearly has citizens in a panic. No longer content to depend on San Francisco's finest for protection, they have begun to arm themselves. The city's 3 largest gun stores report a run on rifles. Now back to Marshall Downs for that report.
How is business, Mr. James?
Well, booming. Bang, bang, booming. Actually, I've never seen anything like it before. We're completely sold out of rifles, so are our competitors.
Then a citizen who doesn't already have a rifle can't get one?
Oh, no, don't say anything like that on the air. We're expecting a big new shipment tomorrow.
What do you think all this gun buying means, Mr. James?
Well, I know what it means to me. I'm not going to be out on the streets after dark.
Because of the Asylum Killer?
No, because of the people I'm selling the guns to.
Meanwhile, the police continue their investigation of this morning's gruesome murder. At the scene of the 5th slaying, Police Commissioner McMillan had this to say in response to a question from your newscaster.
You may tell your viewers tonight that an arrest is imminent.
Imminent? Do you mean this is the Asylum Killer's last murder? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the next time I have to see any of you will be at the press conference I'll call when I announce the arrest of the Asylum Killer. Now, that's all, gentlemen.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A promise from the police commissioner and a challenge to that promise from the asylum killer, already proclaiming 2 more victims before an arrest can be made.
There's no doubt about it. Hydrosulfurous acid with 8 percentage points mercury content. There's only one company that makes it that way. It's listed here. Allied General Chemical Company.
Today, complete coverage of the Bay Area news. This has been KYES.
Hi, honey. Sorry I'm late. I called a couple of times, but you were out.
Oh, really? I bet if you try real hard, you could guess where.
At dinner time? I have no idea. Where?
Oh, come on, you're not trying.
Well, wherever it was, you don't look as though you were having any fun. Want a drink?
No, thanks.
Are you all right?
No. It's not supposed to show.
Not even to me? You look a little down. You want to go out to dinner?
Okay, that did it. We've been out to dinner, Mac, to Mi Ling's, Peking duck for 2. Is it coming back to you now?
What are you talking about?
Actually, the reason that you may be having such trouble remembering is because you weren't there.
Well, that sounds like a logical explanation.
But you did make the arrangements, didn't you? Peking duck 24 hours in advance.
No, Sally, I didn't do anything of the sort. I don't even know where you got the idea.
Well, I got the idea from the restaurant. They called me this afternoon, and they told me that my husband would like me to join him for dinner there tonight.
And you went, just like that.
Well, Mac, they said that you said that it was a religious holiday, so it never occurred to me to check.
Oh, what religious holiday?
The religious holiday celebrated by men who worship their wives.
Oh, come on, Sally. That doesn't even sound like me.
That's exactly what Mother said.
Oh, she did?
I argued with her. I told her I thought it sounded exactly like you.
Sure you don't want a drink?
I think I'll have a drink. Mac, if you didn't order the dinner, then who did?
Probably somebody playing a practical joke on you, which I don't find very funny either. Did you eat the duck?
Well, they would have been offended if I didn't. You know the Chinese.
No, but how was it?
Wonderful.
Wish I could have made it. I'm starving.
I brought yours home. It's in the oven warming.
You're a perfect wife. Mm. Paper come tonight?
No, he got away with it again. I don't think that's very funny either, stealing the police commissioner's paper.
He's just a dog. He doesn't know who I am.
Well, it wasn't a dog tonight unless he's taken up wearing trousers. I saw him dashing off with it when I came home.
You saw a man taking the paper?
Well, I didn't see him actually taking it, but the paper was gone and the man was running away. What else could it be?
I think I'll take a look.
Where did you find that?
Behind the tree where I told the paper boy to throw it to keep it away from that dog.
Then that man wasn't after the paper?
Oh, I'm sure he was. He just didn't know where to look.
Well, I wish he'd stolen the paper. I wish someone had stolen the television set. Mac, you don't think that the asylum killer is going to get away with this new threat, do you?
What new threat?
Well, it was on television. He wrote the station another letter.
I wish he'd write us.
Well, he probably knows you wouldn't give him half the attention that the press does.
Nobody is giving him more attention than I am. I have men all over the city trying to find him. What'd the letter say?
This time he promises 2 victims to die simultaneously.
When'd you hear that?
It was just on.
I'll call in right.
You mean you really don't know? On the news, it sounded like you were ready to make an arrest.
I'm ready, all right. I just don't know who to arrest. Oh, he's not there. Well, here's one for you.
What are you doing opening my letter?
It's from Mildred.
I've been wondering where she was.
Well, this will certainly tell you. It says, grow tall, anthill, teabag, say apple tournament.
Sounds like Mildred. Gotta see it to read it. Grow tall, go tall, go tall. Got call. She got a call. Aunt Hill. Aunt Hill, Aunt Hill. Aunt ill. Her aunt's ill. Teabag, say apple tournament. She'll be back the day after tomorrow. She got a call that her aunt is ill and she'll be back the day after tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Where does her aunt live?
Oh, they just moved again. Somewhere near Bishop, I think.
Seen the letter opener?
Isn't it there?
You sitting on it?
No. Oh, Mildred must have borrowed it and forgotten to put it back. Of course. All the food in the refrigerator.
Does she use the letter opener on the food in the refrigerator?
No, that's why she prepared all that food. The refrigerator is stuffed. That's to last us until she gets back.
And speaking of food, where's my duck?
I want you to give it another minute. I want it to be just right.
I wonder what she did with it. You know, Sally, I'm proud of you.
Proud of me?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Not too long ago, if you'd thought I'd stood you up, you wouldn't have been here when I got home. You'd have run home to Mother.
Well, I might have this time, except when I got home, I walked in the door and the phone was ringing, and it was Mother telling me goodbye.
I didn't know she was going anywhere.
Well, she wasn't going anywhere, but she won one of those ridiculous telephone contests. You know, they ask her questions, she answered. Well, now she's on her way to a free weekend at that new resort, Moon Mountain.
Oh. First Mildred, now your mother. It looks like a mass exodus.
I hardly call my mother and Mildred a mass anything.
I wish we had a sick aunt to get us out of town for a few days. I'd even settle for an anemic cousin. Well, I tried. Happy birthday.
Oh, Mac. Acapulco?
I made arrangements with the department to be out of town for a few days, but obviously now we can't go.
You don't have to explain that to me.
We'll keep the tickets, just change the date of departure. And tomorrow night, I'll take you out to dinner someplace you've never been before, and this time I will be with you, I promise.
You don't have to take me anyplace special. I much prefer plain old hamburger with you to Peking duck without you.
We're gonna make tomorrow night an occasion, even if we never leave the premises.
Oh, I like that part about never leaving the premises.
I didn't hear that. I didn't get home in time to hear that. Nobody knows what time I got home. If I don't answer it, they'll just call somebody else, that's all. I'm too conscientious for this job. Hello, Enright here. A telegram? Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Tried unsuccessfully to reach you by phone tonight. Have decided a weekend off may do us both good. Am taking Sally on a trip. Why don't you try it? See you on Monday. Mac.
A trip? Well, I know he's going on a trip. I mean, I was there when he picked up the tickets. Huh? Oh, no, operator, I wasn't talking to you. But thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
If you tell me what you're looking for, maybe I can be more helpful. I'll know it when I find it. It's bound to be a sale between 80 and 100 gallons. Hey, wait a minute. Salamac. Is that the name of a company?
Tell you the truth, I don't know.
You have a phone book?
Over there.
No Salamac company here.
Well, it's signed for by Mr. R. Salamac, 250 Trenton.
Thank you.
Ooh. Oh.
Okay.
If you wait a couple hours, I'll give you some champagne to go with it.
Why do we have to wait? Are you warming that too?
Will you look in the refrigerator? There's a note on it.
Well, it's from Mildred. You know I can't read it.
I know it. It says, "Happy birthday. To be consumed at midnight to commemorate yet another year. Love, Mildred."
It makes it sound like an anniversary. Still, it's a good year. Do we have to wait?
We do. It's a nice way to begin my birthday.
It smells good.
I know it is good.
Got a fork.
Oh, shoot.
There aren't any knives.
Don't be ridiculous. Of course there's knives. Mac, there aren't any knives.
That's what I said.
How is it?
Delicious. What are you doing?
Mac, there aren't any knives. Anywhere.
I'll check the sterling.
Mac, you don't think that somebody's... That's a ridiculous idea. Knives are gonna be right here. There aren't any knives. Just silver. Do you think this is another practical joke? Well, next year I'm not gonna tell anybody that it's my birthday.
Who did you tell this year?
Nobody? Mac, you don't think it's a joke, do you?
Well, offhand, I'd say we've been robbed.
The TV's here. I'm just watching it. And all the appliances are here. Isn't that what they usually take first, Mac?
Your better homes have been known to...
The jewelry, I'll check it.
I'll check in right again.
Hello. Oh, Sergeant Enright. How nice to hear from you again tonight.
Loretta, I'm very, very sorry about having to work late tonight.
Oh, that's all right, Sergeant. When you canceled our dinner, I decided to spend the evening with an old friend.
Oh, well, I figured that there was someone waiting in line to take my place. But I'm glad you got home early.
I never left home.
Oh, you mean your friend came over to your house? Is he still there? I mean, look, Loretta, I can call back later.
No, I'm glad you called. I miss being with you tonight, Sergeant.
Yeah, so did I. I mean, I miss being with you, Loretta. And I was kind of hoping that we could just leave tonight. I've got reservations and everything. Separate rooms, of course.
Reservations? Are we going somewhere, Sergeant?
Well, the last time I was with you, you mentioned this trip you were interested in taking.
Oh, Sergeant, you don't mean Moon Mountain. I mean, that's the trip this season. You got reservations?
Well, I had to throw my weight around a little, but I got them. And, well, is that okay? I mean, is it possible? I mean, will you, Loretta?
Tonight? Excuse me, but I am talking to Sergeant Charles Enright of the San Francisco Police, aren't I?
Is something wrong? You can't go?
Well, it's just such an unexpected invitation. I mean, especially coming from you, Sergeant. I've never known you to be so impulsive.
Well, it's the first time I ever have been. And if you can't go, it's probably going to be the last.
Oh, I can go. I've been waiting for someone to invite me to Moon Mountain ever since it opened, but I never dreamed it would be you.
Yeah, well, neither did I.
Enright's still busy. Stereos there, antiques, paintings.
Nothing is missing.
You sound disappointed.
Well, I am. It's a little bit unflattering to be told that your jewelry isn't even worth stealing. There's some really nice pieces in here.
Camera's still here.
Mac, it just occurred to me, that man who's outside. He's the thief that invited us out to dinner so he could burgle a house. It wasn't a practical joke at all.
It just occurred to you, huh?
You'd already figured it out. Everything else probably makes sense to you, too.
No, nothing else makes sense. Wait a minute. The letter opener's missing.
Oh, Mildred just misplaced that. No, of course. We just thought that Mildred misplaced that.
Knives and a letter opener.
It's so strange. You know, my knitting needles are missing, too.
Knitting needles?
Yeah, well, I was going to knit while I was waiting for you to come home tonight, but I couldn't find my needles. I found my knitting, but I couldn't find my needles.
Knitting needles. Knives. Letter opener. Scissors, Sally.
Scissors? Of course, everything else was sharp.
Razor blades? No scissors.
Mine, too.
Let's check in the kitchen.
No scissors, Mac.
My tools are gone. Sharp objects.
Well, I just don't understand it.
What other sharp objects do we have? Fireplace tools.
Oh, Mac, I don't understand this.
There's got to be a logical explanation to all this.
Oh, good, what?
I don't know yet. Let's go over the facts again.
Well, there's only one fact. We have been robbed.
First, you were treated to a pre-birthday dinner by a party unknown.
Who was trying to get us out of the house so he could rob us. Only he didn't take anything of value.
Value to him is obviously different than value to us. He took only sharp objects.
Obviously, he didn't want us to cut. What? Ourselves, Mac?
I doubt that.
Could it have possibly been Mildred? Could she have done something with all of our sharp objects?
Well, that's good thinking. When a housekeeper like Mildred lives with you, she's definitely a suspect at all times. What if he's still on the phone? Now there's no answer. It's not like the good sergeant. First he's out, then he's in, then he's out again.
No, I always keep this with me. I feel naked without it.
Oh, like I feel without my weapon?
I have a lot more in here than just a weapon. These are the big guns. Eyeshadow, makeup base, wrinkle cream, and milk cleanser.
Well, I promise I won't steal it.
Okay. Champagne. Sergeant, is this the real you?
No, it isn't. But then it's not the real commissioner to give me the weekend off, either.
This is really quite exciting, Sergeant.
Are you going to call me Sergeant all weekend, Loretta?
I love calling you Sergeant. I mean, I like that you're a sergeant, don't you?
Well, sure I do. It's just that I want to forget it for the weekend. I mean, I want to let Charlie Enright out to howl for a couple of days.
Well, I find Charlie Enright adorable also.
You know, Loretta, I really didn't think that you were going to come with me. I mean, I really didn't think that you would. I mean, there must be a whole line of fellas just waiting to take you to nice places.
Well, a lot of guys call me, yes, but you're my only sergeant. Sergeant.
Mac? I have solved it.
Oh?
It was Mildred.
She took all our knives to her aunt's?
No, she had them sharpened. Don't you see, some man probably came to the door and Mildred gave him everything that we owned to be sharpened. Doesn't that sound exactly like Mildred? They'll be back tomorrow, nice and sharp. Only why did she give him my knitting needles and the letter opener?
And the fire poker.
Only that really sounds like Mildred, too, doesn't it?
I suppose so, honey.
Mac, if it wasn't Mildred, then the person that took all of our sharp objects would have to be insane, wouldn't he?
Central?
Central, over.
412 here. What's Commissioner McMillan's address?
250, Trenton.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Mac, you know that double murder that the asylum killer has planned?
Mm-hmm.
You don't suppose he has anybody special in mind, do
Well,
you?
now, let's not get like everybody else in San Francisco, imagining we're his next victims. How about a drink?
Corkscrew and the bottle opener are missing, aren't they? Not even Mildred would have those sent out to be sharpened. Mac, I think I'll take you up on that drink. Oh. That's so strong. Just what are you trying to take my mind off of?
It's what I'd like to get your mind on. Arriba.
Arriba.
Abajo.
Abajo.
Al centro.
El centro.
Al dentro. Sally, I've got a great idea. Why don't we begin celebrating your birthday tonight? Let's check into a hotel, have breakfast in bed, spend the rest of the day there, and go out on the town tomorrow night. A real 24-hour celebration.
What a tempting idea, especially the part about spending the day in bed. You always did know how to make a girl an offer.
Then let's go.
Mac, next year. I don't think the police commissioner should be chased out of his house tonight.
No one's chasing me. I wanted to take you to Acapulco, didn't I? But since we have to stay in the city, the least I can do is take you to a hotel for the night.
You're only offering because you think I'm scared.
Are you scared?
Yes.
Then let's go.
Mac! Come here. You can't run away every time your wife is a little scared.
That's what I love about you. If we stay, do you think you'd be able to sleep?
Of course. He didn't take the bed, did he?
All right. I'll get a patrol car to cruise the neighborhood.
Nothing wrong with that. As long as he doesn't bother us.
Why don't you look under the hood?
Well, I don't think it would do very much good.
How do you know?
Because everything always looks fine every time I look under the hood.
Oh, you too, huh? Me too.
You too?
Me too.
Oh, listen, I was saving this till later. But we might as well drink it now, huh? I mean, it could help to keep us warm. It's not on ice.
Well, that's okay, because I am.
You know, I didn't know which kind you'd prefer. You know, the pipers or the mums.
They're both good.
Yeah, I mean, some people are really very, very, very fussy. Oh, excuse me. They're really fussy about the kind of champagne that they drink.
Oh, I know. I know some men who think they can't get down anything but Dom Perignon.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Oh, it's good, too.
Oh. Well, all I knew is that I wanted something, Skull, something important. I mean, I wasn't going to settle for any of that domestic stuff. Hey, that's really good.
Sally, you know what I'm thinking?
You got a solution.
I'm thinking maybe I should go back into law practice.
Oh, Mac.
Well, it'll be okay if I could keep my public life out of my private one, but I can't seem to do that.
Well, it's exactly the way I like it. You know, I'm very suspicious of men who do not involve their wives in their work. And you know yourself that my dad said that my mother could put clues together faster than he could.
Yeah, I wish she were here tonight.
Don't you find that a little strange?
What?
That Mother's not here? But why would anybody want to get my mother out of town?
Yeah, well, she does have a way of dropping in unexpectedly.
I never thought that bothered you.
It doesn't. I love your mother.
How nice. Still, I wish that Mildred's aunt could have held on until Mother got back.
Do you have a phone number for Mildred's aunt, just in case Mildred does know where the knives are?
Not since she's moved. Anyway, Mildred's not going to get there till tomorrow morning. She takes the bus. Mac, you don't suppose there is a possibility that Mildred is going to find her aunt in good health? A possibility that it's all part of the same plan that got me out of the house so we could be robbed, the same plan that got us robbed, and the same plan that got my mother out of town for the weekend, and the same...
I think it's a possibility. It's all part of the same plan.
Aha!
Yes, and it's also a possibility that by the light of day, none of this will seem so puzzling.
You're not trying to tell me that you could sleep.
You wouldn't care to join me, would you?
Well, it's not that I couldn't sleep. It's just that I did have this book that I was dying to finish.
What book?
A War and Peace.
I didn't know you'd started it.
Oh, I haven't. I just thought tonight would be an ideal night to start it and to finish it.
Well, I probably couldn't sleep either.
You are so cute when you lie. How about Scrabble?
Scrabble. Thanks a lot. How can you keep your mind on Scrabble?
Well, if I don't, you know where it will be.
Well, I guess I'd better call for help.
Call? There's no one around to hear you.
Well, I have a car phone. Of course, I wasn't planning to use it on this trip, but it's a lot faster than calling an auto club.
You know, I was telling my roommate about all the advantages of dating a man like you, and I didn't know you had a car phone, but I'll put that on my list.
Your list? Well, I'd sure like to hear that list. I mean, what does someone like you see in a cop?
Well, I think best of all, I like that you like being a cop. You do, don't you?
Yes. I mean, why else would I do it?
Well, I'm a model for the money that's in it.
Oh, well, I don't know of any cops that are in it for the money.
I don't think I've ever gone with anyone that could make that statement.
Hello, operator. This is Sergeant Charles Enright of the San Francisco Police Department.
It just gives me goosebumps hearing you say it.
Oh. Well, maybe it's the cold.
No, it's you. Really?
Yes, operator. This is Sergeant Charles Enright of the San Francisco Police. And I think I've just run out of gas.
Well, that's all I can get.
Rear? Well, why didn't you make it deer?
I don't have a D.
Oh. Well, you ruined my play. No, here, I've still got one. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 is 9.
Death. That's a swell word. How'd you think of that?
hasn't that patrol car arrived?
I'm sure it already has. You don't think they're going to shine a spotlight in the living room just to let us know they're here, do you? They patrol outside, because if there's someone to find, that's where he'll be.
If they find him.
If there's someone to find.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
What if he's there and they don't find him? Oh, this game is not doing me a bit of good, Mac. My mind is still you know where.
Let's play another kind of game. One that's a little more dangerous.
Like what?
Well, if there is someone out there, he's probably waiting for us to go to bed before he makes his next move.
So we turn out the lights and nab him.
Are you game?
It's a lot more interesting than Scrabble.
Sally, you know what I'm thinking?
You got a solution.
I'm thinking maybe I should go back into law practice.
Oh, Mac.
Well, it'll be okay if I could keep my public life out of my private one, but I can't seem to do that.
Well, it's exactly the way I like it. You know, I'm very suspicious of men who do not involve their wives in their work. And you know yourself that my dad said that my mother could put clues together faster than he could.
I wish she were here tonight.
Don't you find that a little strange?
What?
That Mother's not here? But why would anybody want to get my mother out of town?
Yeah, well, she does have a way of dropping in unexpectedly.
I never thought that bothered you.
It doesn't. I love your mother.
How nice. Still, I wish that Mildred's aunt could have held on until Mother got back.
Do you have a phone number for Mildred's aunt, just in case Mildred does know where the knives are?
Not since she's moved. Anyway, Mildred's not going to get there till tomorrow morning. She takes the bus. Mac, you don't suppose there is a possibility that Mildred is going to find her aunt in good health? A possibility that it's all part of the same plan that got me out of the house so we could be robbed, the same plan that got us robbed, and the same plan that got my mother out of town for the weekend, and the
I
same...
think it's a possibility. It's all part of the same plan.
Aha!
Yes, and it's also a possibility that by the light of day, none of this will seem so puzzling.
You're not trying to tell me that you could sleep.
You wouldn't care to join me, would you?
Well, it's not that I couldn't sleep. It's just that I did have this book that I was dying to finish.
What book?
A War and Peace.
I didn't know you'd started it.
Oh, I haven't. I just thought tonight would be an ideal night to start it and to finish it.
Well, I probably couldn't sleep either.
You are so cute when you lie. How about Scrabble?
Scrabble. Thanks a lot. How can you keep your mind on Scrabble?
Well, if I don't, you know where it will be.
Well, I guess I'd better call for help.
Call? There's no one around to hear you.
Well, I have a car phone. Of course, I wasn't planning to use it on this trip, but it's a lot faster than calling an auto club.
You know, I was telling my roommate about all the advantages of dating a man like you, and I didn't know you had a car phone, but I'll put that on my list.
Your list? Well, I'd sure like to hear that list. I mean, what does someone like you see in a cop?
Well, I think best of all, I like that you like being a cop. You do, don't you?
Yes. I mean, why else would I do it?
Well, I'm a model for the money that's in it.
Oh, well, I don't know of any cops that are in it for the money.
I don't think I've ever gone with anyone that could make that statement.
Hello, operator. This is Sergeant Charles Enright of the San Francisco Police Department.
It just gives me goosebumps hearing you say it.
Oh. Well, maybe it's the cold.
No, it's you. Really?
Yes, operator. This is Sergeant Charles Enright of the San Francisco Police. And I think I've just run out of gas.
Well, that's all I can get.
Rear? Well, why didn't you make it deer?
I don't have a D.
Oh. Well, you ruined my play. No, here, I've still got one. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 is 9.
Death. That's a swell word. How'd you think of that?
Why hasn't that patrol car arrived?
I'm sure it already has. You don't think they're going to shine a spotlight in the living room just to let us know they're here, do you?
They patrol outside, because if there's someone to find, that's where he'll be.
If they find him.
If there's someone to find.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
What if he's there and they don't find him? Oh, this game is not doing me a bit of good, Mac. My mind is still you-know-where.
Let's play another kind of game. One that's a little more dangerous.
Like what?
Well, if there is someone out there, he's probably waiting for us to go to bed before he makes his next move.
So we turn out the lights and nab him.
Are you game?
It's a lot more interesting than Scrabble.
Loretta, we're here. Moon Mountain. Loretta, look, this is the trip you've been waiting for a whole year for someone to take you on, and now someone has. Loretta, you all right?
Hadn't we better go home now, Sergeant? I mean, isn't it getting late?
Loretta, don't go to sleep. We're here, Moon Mountain, and... well, no wonder everybody's talking about it. I mean, it's fantastic. Please?
Stay here.
Okay. Mac? Shh. Well, Mac, nothing's happened. What now?
I think we'd feel better if we took a stroll through the neighborhood.
Oh, what a wonderful idea. By moonlight, it'll even be romantic. Isn't it a perfect night for a stroll?
Oh, I always try to take a walk on garbage night. That's when the street looks its best.
Well, why don't you not look down? You should look up at the stars.
That's one of the things I love about you. Hey! Wait here.
But you'll have to forgive Mac. He's a killer. But that's why we got him, of course. To protect us from the asylum killer.
Well, I'm sorry, but a man just ran through your door.
Oh, that was Harry. He lives here. And I recognize you from the TV. You're the police commissioner, right?
Yeah, that's right, ma'am. This is my wife, Sally.
Oh, Mrs. Commissioner. I told Harry he was going to have to cut that out now that we have a police commissioner living in the neighborhood.
What exactly was Harry doing?
Come on, Harry. Tell them.
Maybe the commissioner will show a little mercy, since we're neighbors, and they won't give you the electric chair.
Well, since her mother moved in with us, Commissioner, we're a 5-can family, but I still only got 4 cans. So on garbage nights, I slip the extra into other folks' cans. You know, you have 4 cans, Commissioner, but you're not really much more than a 2-can family.
Well, I mean, you can have one of our cans.
Maybe just borrow it until you have kids, or her mother comes to live with you.
I feel better now, don't you?
Isn't it amazing what the mind can imagine?
Uh-huh.
And how simple it all is when you have an explanation? It wasn't a prowler at all.
Hey, it's almost midnight. It's time for champagne.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
This is going to be a terrific birthday. You know, I feel 10 years younger than I did 10 minutes ago.
How old are you now, anyway?
What a tacky question.
Well, I'm not so sure I ever did know.
I don't think you're ever gonna know. The only part you have to know is the part about till death do us part.
You had to say that, didn't you?
Well, it just slipped out.
What's more?
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm beginning to get really sleepy.
Oh, yeah? Drugs. Sally. Sally, wait now.
Okay, Joe, we're all set.
Let's go over the checklist again.
Okay. Food cleared, windows checked, doors checked, check. What are you so worried about?
I don't take chances. Not in this job.
Look, I don't take chances either. The list was correctly posted on the door. In fact, what I am showing you is that everything has been checked.
Okay. Just seems kind of funny, everything done. They must have got here awfully early.
You know what they always say, the early bird gets the worms. Except all we ever gets the bugs.
What is it, Mac? What's happening?
I'm not sure yet. Get out.
Are you all right?
Yeah. I just feel this split the day now.
Mac, it looks as though there's a bag over the house. Is that possible?
Exterminators?
Exterminators? I didn't call them. I've been meaning to call them, but I know I didn't call them.
I know you didn't call him. Neither did I.
The asylum killer. This is how he's gonna kill us, Mac. He likes his victims to die slowly. That's his style. We're the doubleheader, Mac.
We're not gonna die slowly. We're not gonna die at all. We woke up just in time.
Mac, you can burn it.
Can't. Non-flammable. Maybe I can cut it. Stand back.
Here, Mac, please put these under the bed.
There's still time. There's plenty of good air upstairs. Come on.
Mac, I know that gas is heavier than air, so it rises. But it does rise. Oh, Mac, we've got to think of something else to try.
Yeah.
Mac, what are you doing? You can't cut through canvas with a pole like that?
No, but I can push at it.
And somebody will see us.
Get back.
Here,
Fantastic.
try my specialty. Try. Help! Help! Hey, cut
before we go on another job. Somebody's gonna call the police department if they don't.
Just me two, Alan. We'll squirt a little on when we get back at the shop.
Save it. It isn't
What?
They're not gonna hear it. We'll get out. We'll make it.
How?
Well, you've forgotten the telephone.
That's dead. You know that.
That isn't gonna stop people from calling us. And when they can't get through, they'll investigate.
My mother. She's always fighting with the telephone company. But not long distance, Mac. Mildred's not gonna call us. Everybody else in town is used to the bad service. They won't even think about it. Nobody's gonna check, Mac. Nobody.
I'm sure Enright will be calling to check.
Loretta, wake up. Loretta, we've been here at Moon Mountain for hours, and you don't even know what it looks like. Come on, let's take a walk on over to the window, huh? I mean, I got this wonderful room with a view just for you. And, oh, Loretta, you don't know how many nights I've thought about spending the weekend with you. I mean, I've looked forward to it from the very first moment that I ever saw you. I know you're out of my league, Loretta, but what's the point of going out with someone who isn't out of my league? Only this isn't really the way I imagined it. I mean, well, it's just that I thought before we fell asleep together that we'd be awake together. You know, I wish the commissioner had never even sent me that telegram. Come to think of it, it's really not like the commissioner to send me a telegram. Operator, I'd like to place a call to Acapulco. You awake, Loretta?
Here, breathe through this. I've got another idea. Let's go up the attic. Here.
Gee, this is better up here. For how long, Mac?
Oh, we have 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, the way I read that, we have about an hour.
Hey. Happy birthday.
I've forgotten all about it. Well, it's one birthday I'll remember for the rest of my life.
Certainly got us into one this time, didn't I?
It's not your fault.
I always think I can handle anything.
You can. You know, Mac, I'm not afraid of dying as long as we're together. I'd just be afraid to go on living without you.
Sergeant! Sergeant Enright!
Okay, they found me. Well, I was ready to go back anyhow. Mrs. Hall, I never expected to see you here.
It's an unexpected pleasure for me, too, Sergeant. How are you?
I'm just fine. Are you alone?
Are you trying to pick me up, Sergeant?
No, but I'd love to buy you breakfast. Look, I hate counters. We could move over to that table.
What a lovely idea. Thank you. Does your room have a nice view, Sergeant?
Oh, yes, I've been looking at it all morning. It's also the most expensive view I've ever had.
Well, I wouldn't know about that, Sergeant. I'm not paying for my room. I won this trip.
Won it? Well, how did you do that?
One of those phone contests where they call and ask you a question.
Oh. Well, what was the question you had to answer to win a trip like this? I mean, it must have been a Lulu.
Oh, it was, Sergeant. They wanted to know the name of the police commissioner of San Francisco. I wish Mac and Sally were here. What if they didn't get away to Acapulco? Perhaps I should give them a call. They could fly up this afternoon.
Oh. Well, I'd love seeing the commissioner.
Some music would be nice.
Here. This won first place, didn't
Yeah.
it?
For the worst wedding present that we received. Ooh, the Death March. I didn't know we had the Death March.
We don't. This isn't ours.
He put it there. He thought of everything.
As a matter of fact, he didn't. Mr. Fitzsimons.
Mr. Fitzsimons. We haven't even seen him since the last time he turned us into the police for playing the records too loud.
Why don't I go downstairs and play the stereo too loud?
No, you can't go down there.
I have to.
You can't.
You'll know I made it when you hear the music.
Have you come to save us?
I'm afraid not, Mrs. McMillan. Though I'm touched you're able to see the potential for kindness that lurks beneath this mask. I am here to be with you at the end, however.
I thought you'd come to save us.
No one will come to save you, Mrs. McMillan. But it's almost over now. So why not relax and stop fighting it? You must be very sleepy.
Someone is coming to save us.
No. And your disappointment will only be the greater if you continue to think that. You've done all you can, Mrs. McMillan. I congratulate you and your husband. You've lasted much longer than I thought you would. There now. Are you comfortable?
I know you.
We've never met, Mrs. McMillan.
Your voice is familiar.
That pleases me. Thank you.
If I don't know you, why are you doing this? I don't understand it.
I'm afraid they never understand. I've talked to them all, you know. Just before the end.
Talk to them.
Why, my victims. You and your husband will make 6 and 7. I can't tell you how pleased I am with myself over this one. It's clearly the most original and also the most technically difficult. The storyline was perfect from the beginning, of course. But then to have dream casting, the police commissioner and his wife.
Dream casting? Are you filming this?
Just lie here quietly. Everything is going to be fine.
Sally, why did you open the door? Sally!
Welcome, Commissioner.
So you finally showed up. You do. Have to watch, don't you?
How nice to be expected. Your wife seems surprised to see me, though we've been having a lovely little chat, considering her condition. But I can see your mind's not quite as foggy yet. How do you do it, Commissioner? Oh, don't make that mistake. Just after I praised you on how well your mind was working.
Oh, this afternoon? I don't see how. 3 days' work. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I realize. But thank you anyway. Goodbye.
They wanted you to work today?
Yes, all weekend. Pose at some factory that's closed.
You mean they want you to come back from your trip just for 3 days' work? Isn't that asking an awful lot?
But then they pay me an awful lot, Sergeant. I get $400 a day.
$400 a day? Well, at those prices, you have got to go back.
Well, what about the prices here? I feel terrible if I've cost you all that money and then just slept.
Well, that's all right. It's just that I don't know when I can get away again.
Hey, why don't I cook dinner for you one night next week?
You can cook?
Oh, yeah, I'm a great cook. Of course, I'm not allowed to eat, but I'm a great cook. And thank you for the best sleep I've had in weeks.
Sally, wake up.
He said I could sleep.
Don't sleep.
Now.
Why not leave your wife alone, Commissioner? She's beginning to rest quite easily.
I know who you are. I recognize that voice.
Aren't you even going to ask me the reason why? Only last week, I believe you issued a statement that the asylum killer strikes for no reason at all. I could hardly read that on the air without laughing. There's always a reason, Commissioner.
There's nothing to connect them. You chose your victims at random. Why?
To prove I was right. In the beginning, it was only theory, of course. I started by trying to write for television, you know. But my scripts were rejected for their implausibility. Well, I've showed them now, haven't I?
You've been acting out your rejected scripts.
And most convincingly, you'll have to admit, Commissioner, I've terrified an entire city.
With the aid of your nightly telecasts, yes.
That was all part of my plan. Once I decided to produce my own scripts and prove how plausible my plots were, I made sure they got the television coverage they deserved. I'm the only newscaster who's dared show how incompetent the police really are. What a pity you won't be able to hear how I report your deaths on my newscast tomorrow evening. The supreme example of police ineptitude. You're beginning to annoy me, Commissioner. Don't force me to shoot you.
And wreck a plot as ingenious as yours. That would be too bad.
But I will if I have to.
I can't believe a mind as subtle as yours would resort to simple gunplay, unless, of course, you're planning something far more ingenious than I suspected. A triple play instead of a double header.
Triple play? What are you talking about?
With all this gas, you fire that gun and the flash of it'll blow the roof off this place. Unless, of course, that's what you have in mind. The three of us at once, who can tell with a mind like yours?
Kill myself? Don't be silly, Commissioner.
Still not ready?
To die? Why would I ever be ready to die?
That's what all these killings are about, isn't it? Watching your victims die. Trying to get to the point where you can face it. Well, you've watched 5 victims die now. Can you go out with 6 and 7?
What are you doing?
Fire it. We can all go together. Maybe we can even dance.
Turn that on!
Sally, breathe deeply.
Oh.
Breathe.
I was just resting, Mac.
Keep it on till we get out of here.
Mac, don't shoot! The gas will explode.
Hey, there's people in there. Call the police.
The trouble with people who invent implausible plots is they don't recognize one when they hear it.
In Moon Mountain, everything I said. Oh, it's so wonderful you could all get away and get here for the weekend.
Oh, Mother, that was just a lovely excuse for you to stay another week waiting for us. Don Perignon. Sergeant, you shouldn't have.
Well, some people are very choosy about their champagnes. Mrs. McMillan, happy birthday a week late.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I'll never complain again about being a year older.
What's the matter, Commissioner? You're not drinking.
Oh, no, it's not that, Sergeant. It's just that reminds me of the last time I had champagne to celebrate Sally's birthday. I was unconscious before I could finish it.
Well, don't worry, darling. From now on, I'll be your official taster.
Hey, I like the sound of that. Really having a lot of trouble here.